So here behind me we have my, get my fat head out of the way. My latest purchase is a BMW M240i, right? And I think the obvious thing to do with this video is compare my thoughts from this car to the M140i I had recently, because I absolutely love that car. I've never actually had an M240i on my channel before, so in this video we're going to have a little wander around it, talk about specs, go for a drive, do draggy times, and talk about how it compares to an M140i. Right, so we are back in this wonderful location. It's like one of the entrances, I think, to Woburn Golf Course, but I don't think it doesn't even seem to get used, which is great for me for two reasons. One, I don't get no distractions, and two, I actually don't get no phone signal here, so I've got no hope of my phone ringing either. So in front of me here we've got a BMW M240i, continuing on with Calvin's BMW diary, as you like to call it sometimes. I've never actually had one of these cars on my channel. I have had a couple in stock previously, but they just sell so quickly that I never get the opportunity to get them on my channel. So this is actually the first time I've ever driven one. I've just driven it to this location here from Binker, and it's a really nice car. So this car is stock from factory. They're 340 brake horsepower, there or thereabouts, about 20 horsepower more than the M235i, obviously. Same size engine as the 235i. I think we might have a tractor or something come down the hill, have we? I can hear something. But yeah, just an improved version of that engine. So very good looking thing. I did absolutely love the M140i that we had on the channel recently. I was daily driving that for a little while. Obviously that was a staged one tune car, and for some strange reason that car just seemed to be mega quick, like a lot quicker than I expected it would be. So draggy times on that car, it done 20 to 70 mile an hour in 3.9 seconds. That is an unbelievable time to even get in the threes in a stage one tuned sports hatch of any kind. That's amazing. So I did actually do draggy times in this car on the way here, and I already know what it's done draggy times, but we'll talk about that in a sec. I think what we'll do right now is let me hop in on the inside, quickly show you that. Red leather interior, obviously grey bodywork. I think what I need to do is go through the spec options with you, because it's got quite a nice spec list, this car. So it's so peaceful around here. I love it. It's so, it's just nice, man. Sometimes filming at Binker, it's a bit difficult because naturally, you know, got customers, a few distractions and that, which is fine. But I just thought I'd come away. Got a few guys there today working, so it gives me the opportunity to get away for an hour to film a video. So yeah, the spec on this car, it's really good spec. 3.5 stars out of 5 on the HPI check there. I don't know if you can just about see that there. Brand new, this car was £34,285, plus it's got £4,105 worth of optional extras, making it £38,000 new. Now let me just quickly compare that to the price of a comparable M140i on the Auto Trader that I just found. 1 second. Yeah, so this M140i that I just found on Auto Trader, the price of that car, the base price of that car when it was new, was £31,600. So a difference of about almost £3,000 apart. Okay, so it gives you an idea that the M240i was a slightly pricier car than the M140i. They're a little bit heavier than the M140i as well. I suppose that's down to the slightly larger size car. And what else did I want to say about comparables? Oh, value-wise on the used market, if we look at that, so this car today is valued at, this is with 56,000 miles, 22.5 grand retail. That's based on the Auto Trader valuation, and the comparable M140i that I found is 21,100. So there's a subtle difference on the used market there with values. What's that, about almost 1,500 quid apart, which is interesting. So they've sort of stayed that distance apart in value throughout their journey on the used market as well. Oh, we actually have a person, blimey. You think he needs that bloody chav in his Beamer? Get him off the site. Right, I think I'm all right sitting here anyway. I don't think I'm doing anyone any harm. If I do, I'll leave, no problem. So yeah, spec, let's go back to the spec list. Yeah, so like I said, a total of £4,105 worth of optional equipment. The most expensive one of the lot is a sports automatic transmission. Obviously that's an 8-speed ZF gearbox, Great gearbox that is. I would say, personally, I prefer it over the previous DCT gearbox? I do in some ways and I don't in other ways. The gears are very close together, which means you're constantly shifting, but then on the plus side, you're constantly sort of in the peak power band of the rev range. So from that point of view, it's really good. It's also got the paddle shifters on the steering wheel, which is an absolute must. I had an M240I a couple of years back. I've done a video on it a long time ago, and that car had the automatic gearbox, but without the paddle shifters, and it killed the demand for the car, one thing, but more importantly, the drivability of that car. It's like, I don't mind shifting using the gear shifter, but it's just nice to get used out of the paddles when you've got them anyway. So yeah, that was a bit of a disappointment. Moving on from that, loudspeaker Harman Kardon system, £600. That is a must. Absolute must with any BMW you buy. Harman Kardon is a great sound system, and if you've got that in your car, you will absolutely love the quality of the sound. So yeah, £600 for that. Metallic paintwork, nice colour, goes very well with the red leather interior. I love red leather interior. You lot know, obviously, I'm getting that in my E46 M3 Touring, which, by the way, is fully painted now. I've not actually seen it yet. I kind of want to save it for a video, but apparently it's been painted. They're fitting it up, and it's getting ceramic coated this weekend. So I'll get a video up on that at some point soon. All right, so reverse assist camera, again, that's a nice extra. Doesn't kill it if it hasn't got it, but it does help sell them when they have got them. Parking distance control, that's definitely a must, £295. Seat heating for the driver and front passenger. Personally, that's something that I need to have in my car, so it's nice it's got that. Exterior mirrors folding automatically and dimming. So you've got a mirror folding function. That's a nice option. I do tend to fold my mirrors every time I lock my car on my M5. I think I've got it programmed so it literally just, they fold automatically when I lock the car, so that's nice. Online entertainment, 160 quid. Dakota leather and coral red with black highlight. What's the black highlight? Oh, the little bits of black pipe in there, that's quite nice. Obviously I just mentioned that, love that. High gloss black interior trim with oxide silver finisher. These are free options, by the way. So yeah, gloss black dash with this little silver trim below that. Really like that, goes well with the whole black and red theme of things, so that looks nice. Mineral grey metallic, obviously we just mentioned the metallic paintwork option at £550, but the colour option, like the choice of colour, was actually a free option. And navigation system, BMW Professional. It's obviously the latest iDrive for this series of BMW, which is nice as well. Remote services, sun protection glass, windscreen with grey shade band. Okay, just about to see that at the top there, and obviously the total price £4,105. Right, so let's now hit the road. Yeah, right, before we go, I've got to go through the realms of starting this car, which is a bit of a task because it has a ghost alarm. This is actually a Scorpion one. Is that a ghost, or is it one of them other ones, Pandora? I don't know which one it is, but it is a pain in the arse. Let me just quickly type in the code on the steering wheel. That's it. I personally don't like them. Obviously they're completely like thief proof. If you've got one in your car, no one's nicking your car, but I had a really bad experience in a car with a ghost alarm. It was actually Ricky's M4 that he had, you know, the gold one that he had, that he'd done the tuning and stuff on. I was driving that car on my own one day, round here funny enough, and they've got like an anti-hijack thing on them, so when you open and close the door, that then kicks the immobiliser in, which means you've then got to type in the code. It done that, I typed in the code, I was driving down the road, and then it kicked in again. So I'm trying to type the code as I'm driving along, and the car just cut out. Yeah, I'm at the brow of a hill, literally in the middle of the road. There's nowhere for me to pull out of the way, and the car's just stopped. I'm looking in my mirror. Luckily, there's no cars coming. I've managed to get the code in, start the car, and go again. But the point is, that is a hazard, man. That is a hazard. I don't think this car has got anti-hijack. I don't think. Yeah, because by now it would have kicked in, surely. Surely. So straight away, a couple of things I'm going to point out with the difference between an M240i and an M140i is, obviously these are a bit longer, they're a longer car, so that feels quite nice, makes it quite a nicer thing to drive, I would say. But then the hatchback, I've always liked the fact that hatchbacks are quite nimble and they feel a bit more, I suppose, controllable, but it doesn't really make a massive difference. So you've got a slightly longer wheelbase on this car, but something else I would notice myself is that I'm like about 6'2" in height. The door pillar on an M140i is a bit further forward. I'm obviously talking about a 5-door car. If you get a 3-door, it'll be a bit further back. But when you're, you know, you put your seat back like I do, I have my seat almost the whole way back there. and the door pillow is right in your eye line, which is a bit of a pain. You end up having to sort of lean forward to look around, and that's a stupid thing, but that is what this review is about. It's about reviewing the differences between this and the M140i, and that's definitely something that I've noticed straight away. Something else that I just looked around online, the M240i has supposedly got a bigger boot. Interesting, not massively bigger in size, but it's got a bigger boot, and apparently these have got more leg room, and I would say that it does feel a bit more spacious in here. I'm not saying that for definite, but just initial thoughts, it does definitely feel a bit spacious. I'm doing this because I know a lot of people out there will probably be in that dilemma. These cars are, like I say, comparably priced on the used market, so there'll be people out there thinking, I don't know whether to get a 1 Series or a 2 Series, and I think this video might be quite valuable for those people. Let's go right up here. So what we'll do is we'll click it up to sports mode. Back end is very, I wouldn't say like sketchy in the sense that it's dangerous, because they don't have an LSD, and I would love to drive one of these cars with an LSD, but it is sliding about a bit, it is lighting up a little bit. It's quite it's not a warm day, it's about 13 degrees today, so it's not a bad day for driving. The roads are dry as well, but I do notice that there is definitely a bit of sort of uncertainty, a bit of give, a bit of unbalance on the rear end, which I can't say that I've felt that in an M140i. That could be down to the tyres. It's running Pirelli P0s. I'm not saying that they're a terrible tyre, but not my preference at all, I wouldn't say, and it does feel a little bit sketchy, and I did notice that just now when I've done the Draggy times, which I will report back about how well that we done with 20 to 70 mile an hour times in a second. Performance, like this B58 engine is absolutely brilliant, and overall power range is just absolutely bang on. Obviously if you tune it, you do get them better results, and you will see how the results compare in a second again when I talk to you about the Draggy times, how different it compared to the M140i that was tuned. But yeah, the gearbox, the engine, the overall performance is absolutely bang on. Sound, I think that's a big factor, something worth talking about. It does sound quite calm. I don't want to say calm, is that a bad word? If we just give it some little bit of a pop there. See, it was a bit sketchy there, my camera's flying around. It says police slow there. I think I'm not going to go back down that way. I'm going to do a U-turn and head back up the road that I just came from, because it looks a bit busy in that direction. Love this red leather interior, by the way. Literally love it. Yeah. I don't know if you're seeing, it is a little, it's really difficult for you to see that through the camera guys, but it is a little bit unstable as we plant it around bends. And again, I would put that down to a combination of both the tyres, the diff, and I suppose the fact that it's slightly longer than the M140i hatchback version of this car. So yeah, should we quickly hop to the Draggy times? Let's do that now, yeah? Right, here it goes then. So the stage 1 M140i done it in 3.9 seconds, so I'm obviously not expecting it to do it as quick as that, but low fours would be good. Let's see how it gets on. Oh, traction issues. Ring doorbell's going. Felt quick, but traction was definitely a bit of a problem. So there you go, you can see from the clip there that I am battling a bit with traction. It ain't horrendous, but by the time you get to 20 mile an hour, usually, not with all cars, but a lot of cars, I suppose being real drive, you'd expect a little bit of a battle, but you should have almost full traction by then. But you can see, even there, look, it's just a little bit sketchy, and it has affected the times. It done 20 to 70 mile an hour in 4.67 seconds, and on the leaderboard that puts it just behind the A45 AMG, which is, I suppose, a comparable car on the car market. Pretty good time, very good time in fact, but compared to the M140i, the stage 1 tune car at 3.9 seconds, it's a massive difference. So it kind of goes to show that it's well worth getting your M240i and your M140i tune. If anyone out there owns one, definitely go and get a stage 1 remap on it, because it completely transforms these cars. The overall performance, it's night and day difference. I would definitely recommend it. I would say my sort of summary or my overall feeling towards this car is it's just as good as I expected. Obviously it's a great car, yeah, it's an amazing car. They're a good all-rounder. I suppose the fact that it's a coupe rather than a hatch, I suppose that's personal preference more than anything. There is no right or wrong answer to which one is a better car. Personally, I would rather have a 5-door hatch, but then other people might rather have a 3-door hatch, or you know, there's different cars out there for different purposes for that exact reason. My feeling on an M240i is I feel like they look a little bit too streamlined, as in they don't look very bold, they don't look very chunky. I suppose with wheel spaces or whatever, you can make it look a little bit more stanced. But in my mind, I would always compare it to an M2. And an M2, I suppose they're quite a bit more money, but if you were to get a 17 plate M2 or with this kind of mileage, what are they, about £30,000? That's quite a lot more money, but I think personally I would struggle not to consider that as the car of my choice if I was looking at one of it. I don't know, it's quite a lot more money though. But then the problem with the M2 is the M55 M2 is the car you really want if you're buying an M2 is an M2 competition, because that car is loads better than the OG M2. So really difficult choices, but in a nutshell, this is a great car, good all-rounder, performs really well. It does. I think it's great that BMW's done like the M Light range. It's a bit like the S cars in Audi's range. It doesn't quite deserve to be an M car. It doesn't. It's definitely not an M car. It ain't got the arches, it ain't got the diff, and ain't quite got the performance. But it is a very, very good package regardless. So yeah, I do absolutely love it. I am going to head back to work now, go get some lunch. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you like this video. If you did like this video, hit like. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe for a new video every Wednesday and Sunday at 6 o'clock. And if you're on Instagram, give me a follow on Instagram at Calvin's Car Diary. And I'll see you in the next video, alright? Bye. In the next episode of Diary of a Car Trader. So the M240i was my favourite purchase of the week. And in Sunday's video, I'm going to be showing you the banger of the week. I'll see you then.